Guys, thanks for waiting. Everyone that's in here, we had a few technical issues before the stream went up. Welcome, obviously, to another Flying Pig United football preview. We're here to talk about Leicester versus Man United that's going on tomorrow at 3 o'clock. But as you can see, it's another fan panel edition. This is what the Flying Pig's got going now. He likes to get the fans on. He likes to get extra people's views to try and talk about the football. So you're going to get used to seeing, guys like me hosting. And we've got a new guy on here. His name's John. How you doing, mate?
That's good. Yeah, how's it going, man?
Chilling, man, chilling. We've got another new guy, Jared. How you doing, mate?
Some of you may know me as Case Later 23. Thank you, Flying Pig United, for having me.
Cool. And obviously, you guys have seen man like Usman before. Introduce yourself again, mate. You're becoming a legend on the channel.
Yeah, no, thank you for having me on, man. I'm looking forward to the show. Obviously, it's an absolute pleasure being on the platform, award-winning platform, and I love to see it. So, congrats to yourself and the rest of the team, man. That's a huge achievement.
Nice one,
it's
Usman.
huge. Yeah, it's awesome.
That's it, Jared. See, you've got the positivity going already. But before we get into things, guys, you know the Flying Pig protocol. You get onto the stream, you hit a like. If you're new, just subscribe. It's free. Taking the content, you're gonna like it. So just do it. Go into the description. Flying Pigs on all the socials, Instagram, Twitter, all of that. The platform's still growing. 45k subscribers. And Flying Pig actually won the Bronze Award for being a personality on YouTube. So let's just have a round of applause for Flying Pig, please.
Let's go.
Guys in the comments, get the little clapping emojis in there because this platform's just growing all the time. I'm going to give some shout outs to who's in here now. Ellie, one of the great moderators. How you doing? Yeah, you know. G Wolf Gaming, Villa Player. Noah Jurgens, Griffo Chazzy's been on before. Hope to see you again in another preview. Aaron Homeyard, another great mod. And yeah, people, Shazad Ahmed, can't forget you, mate. Another great mod. Mods, get in the chat, just, do what you do. You know what? I got to give another shout out to the mods because they come in and they do, a thankless task. They come in, they police the chat, they keep it in order. So just, guys, keep doing good work. But let's get into it. I'm just going to go through the form guide. So obviously Leicester at home, but both teams are not on form, guys. We know this. We've seen what's going on. We've got Man United, only 2 wins, 1 draw, 2 losses in the last 5 games. And what Leicester, even worse, actually 1 win, 2 draws, 2 losses. So this is a big game, guys. Man United, obviously, we know they're in better shape. We're in 4th place, 14 points, only 2 points off the top. And they've got 14 points from 21. That's 60% worth of points, but only 2 points off the top. It's not all bad. So this is the time for Ole to really get into the trenches and get these guys fighting again, Leicester on 13th place, 8 points, only 5 points off relegation. So I know the form guides are similar, but Leicester are the weaker team on paper and in real life. This has got to be a scout for Man United. The last game ended 2-2. That was a bit of a thriller. And between Ole and Brendan, their head-to-head is actually Man United 3 wins, 1 draw, and Leicester with the latest 2 wins. So it's going to be interesting, man. I was going to talk about injury news before I get to my guests on the panel. Right now we've got Varane. He's out for a month. We all know this. Got a groin injury. We're going to get into who's going to be the centre back partnership because Maguire, he's training again, but he's still got a calf injury. So I think we know Ole likes to try and rush people back in. We know this. He likes to try and rush his favourites, as they say, back in. But I think he will go with Lindelof and Bailly. But I'm gonna get into that a bit later. Fred and Cavani, they're actually, I think they should be out as well because I saw them playing in a match this morning. They were playing in a match this morning. at 2 a.m. So what's the likeliness that they'll get back on
Yeah.
like what a
They're not,
Concorde?
they're not available. I think Ollie said it himself on the press that they're not available, both of them.
Okay, because I was looking on the website, the official website, it said Ole's not ruled them out completely yet, and that was like yesterday.
Yeah, I don't think
I think
they're available.
Fred's exhausted from that assist that he gave to Neymar, though.
Yes, Jared.
Oh, you watched it? Yeah, you got an assist. That's
Yeah, he
pretty
got
good.
assistant Neymar. Oh, have you not seen it? It's literally everywhere on Twitter.
I wasn't watching the international football.
Yeah,
Man.
the one successful pass he makes, obviously, he's gonna have to celebrate that one, and it's a rarity. But yeah, no, I don't think either Fred or Cavani will be involved in this one.
Yeah. Okay, then. And then for the rest of the injuries here, it's looking like Ahmad is back in training, but more notably, Rashford is in full training.
Yes.
So I'm thinking, he'll get a start. I'm going to get into that a bit later, but yeah, he should be on the bench at least to come on for a cameo. And then we can't forget about Leicester. They've got some long-term injuries with Fofana and Justin out. More notably though, NDD is missing. We know he's a big man in midfield. Yeah, he's not playing. So it looks like from the last game, what I saw, they had Chowdhury.
Yeah.
Bit of an average guy. I mean, he's a competent baller from what I've seen, and he played next to Tielemans. Actually, in that last game, I'll just go through it now. I've got it up. They went 4-4-2. So I don't know if they might try and do that against Man United. So they had Castagna, Soyuncu, Vestergaard, Bertrand at the back, Chowdhury, Tielemans midfield, with Lookman and Barnes on the wings. Those wings might try and hurt us, because I got to say, I don't like rating other people's players, but Lookman, he's got some tricks to him. And Iheanacho and Vardy up front. So that looks like they might go with that team,
I think Vestergaard might be a game time decision too. And Johnny might be back for this game.
Johnny
Evans.
Yeah. Okay, yeah. The thing is, he got a slight knock on international duty. They said he's still recovering from a bit of illness, so he's like 50-50 to come in. Actually, I don't know how Brendan Rodgers is like with Russian players back in. Is he? I don't know if he'll be like Ollie and just go, okay, let me try and go with Evans in there. He's my guy. Let me try and give him some painkillers, and he can force his way through it. I don't know. I'm not sure about that. Maybe. So yeah, I mean that's pretty much the news on paper for these guys that are playing now. So yeah, let's get into it already. What are people thinking with the lineups then? We'll start with John. How do you think? Yeah, get into Ollie's kind of mind. Like, how do you think he's going to line up with his team?
Well, that's an interesting one. It's a question of the ages, isn't it? How does Ollie think? Because it's the biggest thing on Twitter.
Yeah.
Well, I think he gives that Rashford a bionic shoulder. He definitely gives Maguire a new calf. He starts like lending his own body parts to players just so they get on the pitch, because he does rush players back quickly, doesn't he?
Yeah, you know what you're making me thinking of? The $6 million man where they had to repair this guy that got injured. It seems like you see Rashford with a big Robotronic shoulder just there.
You build them faster, stronger. Oh, God, that's showing our ages. That
I was just gonna say that's for the OGs in the chat right now that might recognize what we're talking about.
Oh God, yeah, it's a difficult one to get into Ollie's mind. He wants to play his strongest squad. People say it's about favourites, then yeah, it is about favourites because you're not going to go, let's play our rubbishest player we've got because Twitter says it's right thing to do because he's not my favourite. Your favourites are there and playing most matches. There's not many times you see a different manager not play his best team unless like he is resting. Of course, against Everton, he rested Ronaldo. We heard
that's it, John. We've got to talk about Sir Alex's words when he was speaking.
Yeah,
to
I was
Khabib.
literally about to say that exactly.
Go into it. Go on.
I was going to say that he was talking to Khabib, wasn't he? Saying that we should be playing our strongest players. He can contradict himself as well as that, because there's been plenty of games where he could have played his strongest team and he didn't do, and we went out of competitions. Now, I'm not saying that was the worst thing, that, you know, it's not a bad thing that Fergie does that, and at the same time, it's not a bad thing that Ollie does that. He's 36 years old. You know, is Everton the most like game that we need him to play for? Probably not, but you know, sometimes they go for us and sometimes they don't. The game before that, we got a penalty save back for De Gea, and the game after we missed a penalty. That's football. It's, you know, football, bloody hell, as Fergie would once say.
I mean, Ollie says it's fine margins. Do you really subscribe to that kind of thing? Because that's what we're talking about a little bit here, where it's like sometimes we're relying on De Gea for last minute saves and stuff like that.
But I think we did the exact same with Cantona when Fergie brought him in. Like, I'm not going to keep relying back to Cantona, back to Fergie and stuff like that. But the idea is sometimes it just takes that one player to push you over the edge. You know, we were floundering before Ollie went and got Bruno Fernandes, and we've looked a different team. Now, I feel that sometimes it sits like that. It might not be how we want it. We might look at this and go, we want to win every game. Of course, we're Manchester United supporters. We want the best for our club. Yeah. But it doesn't mean that you're going to get it. Now, how do you eat that cake? You know, you get that cake and eat it, don't you? And sometimes you have to be humbled by who humbles you, which was a draw to Everton. It was a loss to West Ham. You know,
but John, we've got to look at the squad, my friend.
Of course.
You said we can't always have wins, but shouldn't it be to the point where we're mostly getting these wins now? Because he spent 400 million now. Ollie's spent some big cash. Yeah, and he's had 3 years.
But then he's still got his net spend, hasn't he? So even though he might have spent 400 million, the Glazers didn't give him 400 million. They gave him what they were allowed to have, and then he reduced his money. Like when you sell your players, like the only reason why we got Maguire is because we sold Lukaku. So we got a 75 million player and sold a 75 million pound player and bought an 80 million pound player. So technically, we only spent 5 million on that player of our own cash. Now, that's sort of my argument on Twitter. Even today, the fact that we've got players right now that still get paid by our club, who aren't getting game time. Hell, not even talking about players like Donny van der Beek. We're talking about like Bailly and Jones and players like that. If you
talk about the net spend, my friend, but it's like if you just look at it for the quality of players that are now in the team, it looks like we shouldn't even be talking about the fact that maybe the Glazers have been shady because it's been back to now.
I think that point's a bit irrelevant. I'm not going to lie to you. You know, regarding the net spend of we basically swapped Maguire for Lukaku. I don't understand what context that has to the actual squad that we've got. At the end of the day,
because we wouldn't have got Maguire if we didn't sell Lukaku.
Yeah, but
we're weakening the squad to try and better it. That's what I'm trying to get at.
No, but the thing is completely irrelevant to the squad that we've currently got. Look, we spent 400 million. The players that we got, you could argue Ronaldo's worth more than what we paid for him as well. So technically, he's probably another 50 million to what we've actually spent. We got him for a bargain. But the point is, the squad is worth considerably more than 400 million. We've got the likes of Rashford, who was obviously he's from one of our own. Greenwood and Rashford alone are worth 150 million. Like, I mean, the squad is got so much talent. And obviously what my man is saying here is, basically, Ollie's got absolutely no excuse. At the end of the day, we drew to Everton. I understand that. You know, that's football. As you mentioned, I completely agree. We're not going to win every single game. But if you go into these games, a lot of Man United fans are going into these games with any confidence because there's absolutely no consistency. We don't know what to expect from game to game, from week to week. And that's the issue. You look at the amount of players we've got in this squad with the talent that they've got. Why is there so many inconsistencies with the selection, with the manner in which we play, the way Ollie approaches games? There's no consistency. You literally can't even.
There's not any inconsistency in selections. We know what's going to be selected.
I don't agree. I don't actually agree.
How don't you? We know you're going to get McTominay instead in the midfield. You're going to get Bruno in front of him. You know, the only reason why we haven't seen Rashford is because he's been injured. You know he's going to play. Like that's wrong. You know, you can't.
Okay, John. Then John, what's going on when we see people like Martial come in even though he's not really been on good form. You get Cavani getting 55 minutes, and then Ronaldo dropped there. It's like it is a bit of inconsistency in terms
Oh,
of
he's resting his
playing your best
players.
players.
You play. I know you play your best
But it
players.
was an international break just after there, so that seems weird. People are talking about it. Twitter. People are like,
Of
why
course,
would you do
Twitter
that when we
isn't-
have the international break for people to rest anyway? You play your best players. I mean, come on, Sir Alex, we just talked about it. Sir Alex came out and said, play your best players. I mean,
Yeah, but he's many a times not played his best players. So what does that mean? That different? Like, it's just a man that doesn't choose his squad. Sometimes he wins, sometimes he loses. Like, of course, we want them to win, but it's not the situation where we have a divine right. Like, that's the whole point of like Wigan and beating City in the final of the FA Cup. There's no divine right that they should
those
do
are
that,
one-off
but they do.
things, though. That's
That's
a one-off thing.
life, isn't it? It's 50-50. One of them's going to win, one of them's not. Sometimes it comes down to the players not working their asses off. For example, Villarreal in the final, when you're watching Cavani run past Paul Pogba. Well,
I remember. I don't know if you remember me. I remember talking to you on Twitter.
Oh
about
yeah, I
this,
know that, bro. I know
remember
that.
this.
But
The thing
that's
is,
the principle, isn't it? Like,
John, let me just tell you this though. The thing is with that, there's context to saying when people show passion, but the thing is, Man United were dominating the ball, so that I was saying there was not even any need to even see Cavani come back. Villarreal were hardly doing any counter attacks. They scored from a set piece. They didn't do anything on the counter attack.
And you'd rather have Cavani up front, get Paul Pogba to do that leg work and pass him the ball. So, you're not losing a player up front. And that's another reason why I'm a bit pissed with Ollie and Ronaldo, how he keeps dropping out of striking position and trying to find the ball. He shouldn't be doing that, in my mind. And
I think it's a frustration thing, though.
Of course it is.
And I think, I was saying to Eddie that, it's not just Ronaldo. If you look at Greenwood just a few games ago, and you saw him missing passes in the box to Bruno, and you saw him taking people on, not just one person, but two people, and again, looking, and then just like, I'm not even going to think about you. I'm just going to shoot. I think that Greenwood is getting frustrated because he's either not getting his chances and he wants them, or he's being like, you know what? I know that our team needs to score. We're having a problem scoring, except for Leeds in the beginning. We're scoring 1-2-0. I think we've got a big problem. And I think Sancho is also one on the other side that suffers from that same thing.
So why is it that where because I've heard this a lot of the time, because obviously I do research, I see what pundits are saying. They're saying we only look dominant against Leeds. We only look like we were expressive against Leeds. Yeah, and John, I've got to come back to you with that point. Why are we only looking like we can dominate a Leeds? Yeah, we're not looking like we can dominate an Everton with 4 injuries. We're looking silly against Southampton. We lost to Villa. It was a bad game. You say, okay, it seems like you want to focus on players a bit, but doesn't it come to a point where we look at what other teams are doing in terms of the systems they set up, in terms of Pep's tiki-taka, in terms of Klopp's gegenpress, and then we look at Ole and it's counter-attack and it's not looking good. You got to say, though, John, the performances, have you been entertained by performances over the course of these couple of years? It's been too patchy.
What would you rather have? Would you rather have this or going back to Van Gaal 0-0s?
Answer the question.
I am answering the question. I am done.
No, you're avoiding the question, though.
But listen, you're gonna let me talk, or I can
Go
try.
ahead, John. Go ahead, John.
So we're talking about the inconsistency. Have I been entertained? I answered. Were we entertained as United supporters when Van Gaal was here? 0-0s, passing the ball around for 89 minutes of the thing and having one shot or whatever.
You know what? Sorry, I'll say this though. We were entertained. No, sorry. We were organized. We were organized at least there. And we saw the plan.
The plan was to bore the opposition to death and get one goal. That's not a plan, is it? For Man United, anyway. But this is the point anyway. What we were talking about was, have I been entertained? Yes, I've been entertained. You know what? Being at Old Trafford, watching a game, and it's literally bite the nails, going to the last 94th minute or whatever.
But John, how are we doing this against every team though? Every team we're doing this against. That means we can't dominate anything. So how are we going to be snatching and grabbing every kind of result?
How long have we been dominant for? Honestly, Like since Fergie left? No. Since 2013? No.
But it should be getting better then. Shouldn't we be getting better then? Because you said Van Gaal, right? Okay, that was shit. Mourinho, couple of cups. That's shit.
Football, boring.
But then,
yeah,
okay. But then we've got a new manager. Yeah, shouldn't
Mm-hmm.
the football be getting better then? If this guy is the right guy, shouldn't we be going to? Okay, I'm cool with the football.
If you look at what we did last season, right now where we are now, a year before, we were in 15th position. We were points off the top, not just 2 points off the top. With this gegenpress of Klopp and this Pep football, at any point of my life, I've never been interested in what other teams play. It's about Manchester United, right? Yeah, we haven't had the results that we wanted, but that's not because the manager's gone, we're going out to lose this game. Fuck them. Apologies for my language, but you know what I mean? Like, it's not about that. So we were, you know what? We were rubbish against Bayern Munich until the 90th minute in 99, and we won it. So
that's Bayern Munich, though.
No, I know, but still, but I'm just saying, no. But for Manchester United, I don't think about other teams. I think about how Man United used to play when we played against other teams. You know, it's about us. We should, and this is Man United's way, I would expect, is to worry about our own game. We play our own way, and then they think it. Solskjaer 100% doesn't do that right now. That's guaranteed he doesn't. I'm not going to deny that fact. But has the football been better than Van Gaal's era? Yes. Has the football been better than Jose's era? Yes. Okay, we didn't.
It's debatable. It's debatable.
He's got
on paper, he's got those top 4 finishes. That for me is what is the deal. Is what's making the deal for him being in the job. He's getting the top 4 finishes. Yeah,
Champions League football is what we didn't get under Van Gaal, and we didn't get under Jose. There's a reason why he got sacked. Honestly, do you think that finishing 6th position is fair? Is a Man United thing, finishing 6th?
No, of course not.
Exactly. So just because you won a Europa League,
go on.
Go on, Desmond.
Yeah, but I hear what you're saying, right? I hear what you're trying to say. I understand. You're comparing him to Van Gaal and Jose, and on that point, I agree with you. Oli has been better in terms of entertainment, if you want to call it that. Van Gaal's was absolute dross. I'm not even going to deny that. And as was Jose Mourinho, okay? So I'm not even going to sit and entertain that convo. But the point I think Eddie's trying to make is the football is 3.5 years in. Look at the players we've got. It should be way better than it is consistently week in, week out. You said you're entertained, which is fine. Obviously, as fans, we're entertained by different things. So I can't tell you how to feel, yeah? So that's fine as well. But for me personally, as someone that wants organized football in terms of the way we control the game, sustain attacks, oppose ourselves on the opposition, I have not been entertained. I've been to games similar to yourself this season. I've been to 4 or 5 games, and every single game I've seen, we've literally clawed it out of thin air down to individual moments. And I understand that, those games will happen throughout the season. I completely accept that. But my issue and my concern is how it's happening consistently week in, week out. When do we start to improve? When do we start to see football that we would affiliate with Manchester United Football Club? Not under Van Gaal, not under Jose. I do not think their football was good, and I don't agree with anyone who's even putting the case forward for either of their managers. But for me, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is a Man United legend. He should know the football. He should know what kind of football Man United are playing. He's been here for three years now, if I'm not wrong. It's 3.5 years now.
3.5, yeah.
Exactly. So I gave him the first season. I accepted it. Results business. That's what you're gonna, be judged on. Second season, I started to have my concerns because I wasn't seeing any progress. We've seen managers come in for other teams, and I know you said you don't want to focus on other teams, and I accept that as well. But you can't be blindsided by the fact that other managers are coming with less time, with less resources, and are playing considerably better with poorer teams. And I think you need to accept that Oli is not a good coach, or whoever he's got behind him sorting out the team, they're not doing a good job, because there's absolutely no progress in terms of system, in terms of consistency, in terms of style of play. I mean, you were saying that Jose borders and Van Gaal borders. So my question to you is, what is Oli's style of football, and why are you entertained by it, especially this season? Because I can't put a finger on it. It's not counter-attack, because teams are parking the bus against us now, and we still can't break down a low block 3.5 years down the line under Oli's tenure. So, I mean, you would have thought in 3.5 years he would have figured out how to do it by now, especially with the talent he's got. So for me personally, I just don't agree. I don't think Ollie's good enough for the job, because he's shown it time and time again. He's tactically inept, and we've seen it this season, because there's no progress whatsoever.
Okay, Osman. Let's go to Jared then. Yeah, what do you think then about the football that's going on? Yeah, do you think Ole can turn it around with how he thinks? Yeah, because we've seen what Ole does. He says, "I'm not concerned about the intricacies of people having a role as a number 10, number 6, all of that stuff." He's like, okay, I want to go back into the back in my day. Paul Scholes, Roy Keane, box to box. People have been talking about this. Then, do you think Ole is gonna, have this team play that football that to ultimately save his job? Because this is what it comes down to again. It comes to the main thing about Ole saving his job again and having players play their heart out with the passion kind of thing.
Well, I think it's a double-edged sword, because one, I don't think that there's any way that the Glazers are going to sack Ollie. So, and I want him to succeed. So, knowing that, my hope is that we can be developing a style, just like Usman said. What's confused me is that if we have 60 to 70% possession, or high 50s, right? Why are we not creating more chances? Because without chances, and I told Eddie this too, without chances, Ronaldo isn't going to get us the goals.
I mean, we are creating chances though, but it's people taking pot shots. It's 26 shots and then about 4 on target. So
well,
it's not
right, and
enough,
those to me aren't real chances.
Yeah.
Those aren't chances to his feet, to his head, to his body. And so, in terms of Greenwood, and in terms like Sancho, to me, the perfect winger for us. I'd like to see him be playing week in and week out. Get him inserted and keep him there and let him develop, because I want youth. And I think that I think that he'll come good for us, but he needs a chance and he needs a good run. I think that these next 10 games are pivotal for us. There are moments in a season that define, I think, how a season goes, and maybe there are multiple moments, or maybe there's one singular. Again, when Tuchel came in, Chelsea goes on a 14-game unbeaten run. Last season, Pep goes 20 unbeaten, right? And with Chelsea, it goes to the Champions League. With Pep, it ended up with a Premier League. So this, for us, even though we have injuries, I think that this is one of the pivotal moments, and I want to see, what is he going to do to change how we play, and what in terms of results, how many points can we get out of City and Liverpool and Leicester? And I want to see, the home and away to Atalanta. What are we going to do there? That's my goal. Is the next 10 games, I think, are very important.
That's true. That's true, mate. I don't want to neglect the chat, so I'm gonna just see who's in here again. Lou Manu, thanks for getting in here. Viking Red, thanks for getting in here. He was asking where Pigo's at. Pigo likes to have some of the fans come on and do a show, so that's what we do. We're gonna see this from time to time when we do a build up towards matches and reactions to matches as well. And we got a super chat. Thanks for getting in here, Mamacini, with a €5 super chat. No possession BS, please. Our way was always rush forward and shoot. No tiki is nonsense. Okay, John, what do you think about that one, then, mate? Let me keep up there.
I'm not 100% on that one. Like, there's been times where we do that tiki taka, sort of pass and move football, which is probably where a lot of people see it off Pep and they go, "Oh, we like that style of football. We want to see that at Old Trafford."
It's a good style. We've got good players.
We've never been that tiki-taka style of football, really, have we? We passed the ball like that and in 3 movements and scored goals. You don't see Pep more or less doing that. And even we did that under Ollie. Like, I think Rashford coming back is going to be his defining moment, because he knows that man will run through walls. He may be like the most offside player for Man United, but that's because he wants to get in behind the line, which is something that we have missed in a long while. Rashford at his best is probably one of the top players of our squad. It's a difficult one. I think that possession is, you can have 80% of the possession and do nothing with it, like we've seen under Van Gaal. So yes, we do, as Usman says, we do struggle to pull out against like the low block, which is down to Ollie's coaching staff. They should be able to break that low block. But I haven't got anything that I can, argue on that fact. That's some of the times where I do get frustrated of it. But
yeah, because aren't you a football fan as well as a strong Man United fan? Aren't you a fan of the football too?
I love football. I love United. Those go hand in hand with each other. From being a kid. Like my first memories, because I was born in '87 properly, was about '93. And that was when Fergie was coming into his own. Granted,
yeah.
Most people go, well, my dad took me to the game and this and that. My dad hates football. It was my mum that fancied George Best. So she was like, he can put his shoes under my bed any day. And I'm thinking to myself, shouldn't it be boots? But she goes, this is the team you need to watch. And, I watched that. I watched that team, and she had a good choice, really, good flavour. But but that principle, though, like, I feel that we need to go back to those sort of ways, and I think Ollie's trying to get back to those ways. I've heard maybe Rennie Mullenstein's been talked about for coming back, changing that coaching staff a little bit. And
is that going to seriously happen once Man United is giving new contracts to these coaches that are there already? Do you think they're going to pay for another coach to come in?
Yeah, they'll pay whatever. They're not asked, are they? It's not the Glazers' money. They're not paying out of their own pockets. They're paying out of what United earn. So,
but yeah, that's still Glazers, like that.
No, I know, but I mean, in the sense that they don't. It's not like, say, Newcastle, who's going to now put like £1 trillion into their budget and stuff like that. They're not doing that, are they? They didn't even pay their own money to buy us. So why would they pay any money? Of course, obviously it's their business, but it's only what they earn off. So they'll have running costs. They'll go, well, we can edge that off. If Pogba doesn't sign his contract, you really think they're asked about spending 35,000 a year or 40,000 pound a year for a coach when they pay him 300,000 pound a week? I'm not saying that Pogba's not going to sign a contract, but just for example, so I don't see that's a problem. Maybe. But
are the Glazers going to care enough to actually go, okay, let's try and get some help for Ole in terms of tactics? Do you think? Because we know that they're not football guys. This is the big main problem, is that the guys that own us are not football fans, isn't it?
They're not. We know that.
So are they going to think, okay, let me get in Mullenstein, he can help. Let's give him, I don't know how much a year.
Only if Ole wants him.
Yeah, if that's the thing, yeah, like he said, if the manager wants him and he turns around and complains enough, like, not a nasty complaint, but going, what we need, we could just do with, you might be every week, you might be ringing him up every week going, you know what, yeah, it's doing all right, but I could do with, it's like trying to get renovations done in a council house. You just ring them up and go, yeah, I could do with this, and then they come back to you in about 6 months' time when you finally forget about it, and they go, oh, look what we've got you a shiny new thing. And I'm hoping that's what maybe happens. It's not guaranteed. We know this. We know they're not football people, but they are money people. It takes money.
John,
spend money to make money.
John, you just made me think of Van der Beek as a shiny new thing. Yeah, where they showed it to Ole, and Ole was like, he's like almost like a child, like, nah, I don't like that toy. I'm not going to use it.
Look,
I don't want that one.
I think he was going to use him. The way I've always seen it was, what happened that summer transfer. They were Pogba and Mino were turning around going, we are gone. Don't even worry about us. Juventus, here we come, or Real Madrid, here we come. So United went on the defensive and gone, right, if he's going, we need someone to replace him. So we replaced him. Then COVID happened, couldn't move anywhere. No one had the money to spend, especially on Pogba. They didn't want to spend 100 and something million or 80, 90 million or 100 million euros, whatever it was going to cost them to do that, plus 400,000 euros a week on his contract. That wasn't benefit. So at that point, there is a bit of politics in it, because you're not going to turn around and go, we'll pay you £300,000 a week, but then play this guy and not play you, because that's their biggest probably outlay between him and De Gea. You may expect them to play because you're paying them to play. So it's a bit of a frustration. I want to see Donny play. I want to see him to be. I thought he was going to be this Donny as the number 6, Pogba and Bruno in the midfield, and that was going to be our technically sound midfield. Never turned out that way because Fred's got some nudes of Ollie. Maybe, I don't know.
I mean, that'd be hilarious if that was true. But we know Fred is an energizer bunny. He runs. He has the passion. Mm-hmm. We can see that's why he's really in the team. Someone made a comment about Ole being in control of his staff. Let me try and get it up here. I mean, I don't think this would be the case. Ole is in charge of his own stuff. The Glazers will have no influence on that matter. I can't see that being the case because of what we're talking about. I mean, for me, I don't think Van der Beek was an Ole signing. I think the club went, we're going to sign this guy because he was a discount. If he was 40 million, and they knew he was like what Champions League experience. He's a total footballer, as the Dutch say. They play that total football. But then, if I'm a manager and I get in a new toy, and it's been 2 seasons, yeah, and he's at the point where Van der Beek is spitting out chewing gum, and then I'm in the press conference saying I don't like sulkers. How am I spending 40 million on someone that's doing that kind of thing? You know. So I don't think Ole is properly in charge of things like that, you know, because we've seen with Sancho as well. We've got to get into it a little bit. We were supposed to actually talk about what formations we think we're going to play against Leicester, but we've gotten deep. I blame John for this. So, yeah, well, it's like, yeah, Usman, what do you think then with that comment there, with Ole being in charge of his staff? Do you think Ole would be like, no, I don't want any Rene Mollenstein coming in?
I mean, I don't really think Ole's got any authority, to be honest. If Jose Mourinho was struggling to get what he wants, who's won it all, I don't see what Ole is bringing to the table in terms of, you know, really having a leg to stand on. Of course, he's done somewhat decent at Man United, but I don't think they're going to take his opinion too highly, to be honest. They just do what they want, innit? At the end of the day, they're the Glazers. Hence why most United fan base want them out. But in terms of the Mollenstein comment, I mean, why would we get Mollenstein in? I mean, we've got a feeling in at the moment. It was an ex.
We need tactics, husband.
No, right. But it's yeah, but how, like, Mollenstein's what, 20? When did he leave Man United? Like, why? We need fresh ideas. We need new, fresh ideas. We've got people like Mike Phelan, who's way past his sell by day. I mean, he's been around the block since, you know, post Fergie, so to speak, and he's not succeeded massively or pulled up any trees anywhere. I mean, you've got Michael Carrick in there, who's new to the job, so I don't want to criticize him too much. And you've got McKenna, who's done a good job at under 23s, but a lot of inexperience behind the only experienced person, which is Phelan. And Phelan is a dinosaur in terms of tactics now. Similar to what Jose Mourinho was, you know, people they're not with the times. It's as simple as that. We don't need an old head. We need someone new, fresh ideas who's going to come in and flip the script. We don't need someone else like Mollenstein that's going to come in and potentially reinforce what Phelan's saying, but with a bit more tactical now. So, I mean, for me personally, I want fresh new faces. I know Ramsey came in, and obviously we've not really seen much success from his appointment either, because we're still conceding set pieces galore. We haven't seen a score a set piece, but of course those things will take time. So for me, regarding the
sorry, Osman, I just got to say shout out to AR Dan for getting in, because his comment would just move out. I'll forget. So shout out to AR Dan for being a new member here again. Nice one, mate. Go on, carry on. Sorry, mate.
Yeah, so just don't stress. So in terms of the coaching staff, I don't think Ole has an enormous amount of say in it. However, make no mistake about it, this is his coaching team. He assembled, you know, this is his equivalent to Avengers. He assembled these guys. You know, he said, I want Carrick, I want McKenna, I want Phelan, and he just
Osman, I'm sorry, mate. Did you say equivalent to the Avengers?
No, his equivalent, not
okay. His equivalent.
Do not misquote me on that.
I want to see some superpowers going on if it's the Avengers style, my friend.
Who's carrying the hammer, Usman? Who's carrying the hammer?
I don't know who Thor is. I'll let you guys decide who's who and that. But
yeah, Usman, go do it now. What's doing? Come on.
Go on then. Lads, you're gonna have to help me out because my mind's got blank.
Now you said Avengers.
Obviously, Ollie has to be
Yo.
Captain America, innit? So that's a given.
Oh,
So
okay. He's got a
Ollie
big
has to
shield.
be Captain America. Feelings probably he's giving me beast vibes anyways, isn't it? So but he's very calm, isn't he? But you should just give him beast anyway, because he's meant to be the thinker, so to speak.
So who's that then?
McKenna's obviously Hawkeye because he seems. Oh, maybe that's Carrick.
Oh, he's like the worst Avenger, ain't he? With the little.
Nah, Carrick's Hawkeye, because Carrick, I've not heard him say one word yet. So Carrick's Hawkeye. Obviously, Hawkeye doesn't speak, does he? Who else have we got? I don't know who Scarlett Johansson's character is going to be, so I'll let you guys decide. Black Widow. And I'm missing one person. I'm Iron Man, obviously, innit? So McKenna's going to have to be Iron Man, then, innit? So it's just dead, isn't it? So basically, the point is, the coaching staff is dead. There ain't no Avengers. It's some Wish. You order Avengers on Wish, and it comes with Man United coaching staff. Listen, it's not good enough for me personally. Regarding the Ryan Mullisin thing, if Ollie wants to bring him in, it's going to make absolutely no difference to me personally. I just don't think the guys, they're just not got it in their lockers for me personally. Okay,
I just got to read the super chat. Gongshi, thanks for getting in here, mate. Fred must have something on Ole. This relates to what John was saying. Maybe he has the nude pictures. Fred must have something on Ole. It's the only explanation. Great to see Eddie and Usman back again. Thanks, Gongshi. As well as a couple of welcome new faces. I agree with Usman about feeling. I'm not sure what he actually contributes, to be honest. Yeah. K Slater, Jared, what have you got to say on that, my friend? Because we're not heard from you in a bit.
No, I've just heard that Phelan does a lot of the game day stuff. He's the one that kind of directs people. That's what I'm hearing when I listen. When there's others or reading other sources, they're saying that it's Ollie doesn't really handle. He handles some of the things, but like the big basic tactical things are what Mick Phelan is handling. Now whether that's true, I don't know. But again, I would not. There's a lot of pressure on his staff and himself right now. So despite our fan base being split, I think right now over whether he should go or he should stay, I think that he from the newspapers and the media, he's facing a lot of pressure. His coaching staff is facing a lot of pressure, and if he doesn't get results, he'll be hearing that soon.
But they just got new contracts.
They did, but you know what? I think in some respects that is just lip service. Like, I don't think that Ollie has a chance of leaving this year. Now, Usman, even though I'm saying give him a chance, I haven't seen enough to keep him personally. But then again, I don't see that there's a viable candidate for me because I'm not a Conte fan. I'm not a Zidane fan. I'm giving him at least this season. You know what I'm saying? Okay. I don't see that there's a viable candidate anyway, but I'm saying.
So can I just ask you?
Yeah.
Obviously, the Conte one, I completely agree with you 110%. I'm not a Conte fan either. But in terms of Zidane, right? So do you genuinely believe, hand on heart, Zidane can't do a better job with his players than what Ollie will do this season?
Wait, Jared, before you answer that, Dan's saying, I think he's talking to you actually. Is that hammer up on your wall on the left?
It's a clock. I think it's a clock.
That looks like a hammer upside down.
It does look like a hammer, actually. Yeah, it does.
I'm kind of a utility guy. That's a clock.
So we've got Thor here. There's no issues here.
I can use it as a hammer if I need to.
Yeah, for them home invasions, isn't it? You ready? Cool.
Now, if Usman says hand on heart, right? Hand on heart, that Zidane, I can't say that. The guy won 3 Champions Leagues in a row. I look at his roster, Zidane, and I'm like, Sergio Ramos, Varane. I'm like, Gareth Bale, Ronaldo, Cruz,
Modric. He plays there. We've got Ronaldo and Varane, so.
Right. And so I'm like, I can't.
That's what people say. They kind of try and dismiss Zidane's brilliance when they say all of those kind of. I don't know if they're new age Galacticos, because you didn't even say Benzema. You didn't say other guys that are really like
Isco was flying at that time.
I think Benzema's a phenomenal player for me.
Yeah, still going as well. But 3 times in a row, that's got to. Some coaches got to come into that.
Jared, the reason I mention it, right? Sorry to interrupt you, Eddie, bro.
Go on.
The reason I mention it is because for me, and I've seen this comparison a lot on social platforms, pundits, etc. And I personally use it as well. Is basically, you look at Lampard and you look at the way he got dismissed from that Chelsea job. You look at the job Tuchel's coming, and I understand the new manager bounds, and I understand Tuchel's not been there for a long period to really assess if he's been successful, etc. Of course, Chelsea fans will tell you he's the greatest manager, etc. Whatnot. But in terms of what I'm saying is, Lampard gets sacked, Tuchel comes in, same players, no new signings. For me, Zidane comes in. Sorry, Oli gets sacked. Zidane comes in. I'm not saying it's going to be the exact same impact, but what I'm saying is there's levels to this game. Tuchel compared to Lampard has shown absolute levels. That Lampard team, exactly the same players, were absolutely floundering in 8th spot. They were talking to Arsenal and small clubs like that about fighting for 7th and 8th and all that nonsense. And with the exact same team, Tuchel's come in and with hardly any new signings, really. I know they've signed Lukaku now, but prior to that, people were still saying towards the back end of the season, these guys could potentially be title challengers. Under Manchester United, we've got a better team than Chelsea right now, and no one's even mentioning Man United in the title conversation. A lot of Man United fans themselves are kind of almost accustomed to the fact that we're not in the conversation as it stands, because under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, no one takes us serious. Let's be real. And the point is, if Zidane comes in, I personally think he could be our Tuchel in terms of the impact that Tuchel had for Chelsea, because our players are better than Chelsea's players. I think we've got a better squad than Chelsea. I think we've got a better squad than Liverpool. Okay, Man City, you can say they've got a better squad, but they haven't got number 9. We've got one of the greatest goal scorers of all time. Okay, granted, he's towards the end of his powers, so to speak, but he's still capable of scoring 30 goals a season if he gets the service. So for me,
Usman, I just got to call something there. I just got to call something there, Usman, because I like to weigh up the both sides. Yeah, I like to see, what's Ole done. What has Ole done that is good? What is the criticism as well? But the thing is, you say, okay, people are not taking Ole serious. Okay, but then we got to look at the fact that he's got us to back Champions League qualification, and then there's still the unbeaten away record. There's things like that.
Lampard did that as well, though. So Lampard did that at Chelsea the season prior to him getting sacked. Lampard got them to top 4, and they probably didn't have a right to get to top 4. Hence why he was getting the plaudits and people were singing his praises. And I don't want to sit here, and I'm not disregarding what Ollie's doing. Ollie's pulled us out from potentially being another Barcelona. Let's be real.
He steadied the ship.
Oli has literally saved us. Like Oli has saved us. There's no denying that. But that's not what football's about. Football's about winning trophies. He's done his job, but he hasn't got the minerals to go to the next level, which is similar to Lampard.
Osman, this is what makes it hard because, and I'm sure John will agree, the connection with the emotional side of Oli as a player doing what he did, and then he saved us from Mourinho. He steadied the ship, and then because you hear people that are vehemently Oli in, they want to win trophies with Ole. I did want to win trophies with Ole, but I do see the ceiling because I'm a football fan as well as a Man United fan. I'm a football fan, and the football
I want Ole
does not say that we're gonna do anything in terms of winning big cups. Yeah,
but I'm sorry to ramble on, but I'm sure Chelsea fans wanted Lampard to be successful. Sometimes you got to be realistic as well. At the end of the day, the only thing that matters is Manchester United Football Club. I hate when people have player agendas and go and back that player more than the club or the manager and so forth. I've done that in the past, I'm not going to lie. But for me now, the only thing that matters is the success at Manchester United. If that means Oli has to leave, if Pogba has to leave, if Martial has to leave, I couldn't care less. I want Man United to win trophies. So for me, you have to ask yourself, John, and I'll throw this to you because I know obviously, it's quite evident that you're Oli in, which is fine. What...
I gotta bring up G-Wolf. Remember G-Wolf from one of the previous shows? Oli is unbeaten away from home and 2 points behind. First, would Zizou do the same? I just don't think so. It's a hypothetical, though, is it?
But again, this is you got to say things in context. Though G-Wolf's a homie, firstly, but who will be played? Like even Gary Neville finally admitted who will be played. All the other so-called big teams have played each other multiple times. Chelsea played everyone. Man City have played everyone that they could potentially drop points against. So are Liverpool, and we played Newcastle, Southampton, Villa, Everton, West Ham. I mean, you can't at the end of this sort of run of fixtures with the difficult teams. If Ollie's 2 points behind the top 4, or even in the conversation of the title, then I can't sit here with my chest and say what I'm saying right now because that would be outlandish. So in 8 games time, if Ollie's still where he is right now, 3 points to the top, then it's a different conversation. Then you got to put respect because then he can keep up with the big boys. As it stands, we haven't played anyone note, so I can't sit here and generally, I think we should have won every game we played. Like, there's not been one team that I know that's not going to happen. I understand that, but there's not one team that I've looked at and said, "Oh, they're absolutely amazing." Wolves are terrible. Villa, Southampton. Okay, Villa, okay, they've done well, but I mean, we should be beating all these teams. The Villa outplayed us.
You know what? You know what I think, Usman? I think we should have maybe won like 90% on drawn.
We should be top of the table. We should be top of the table, saying
we're the good running. It was a good, nice running with average teams.
Exactly. We could draw to Liverpool and Man City and say, "No, what? We're still in the conversation," but we can't. Now we need to say we need to beat them teams because otherwise we're going to fall 7, 8, 9 points. At the end of the day, for me, success this season is winning the league. If it's top 4 for some of you, then that's fair enough. But for me, we could be 7, 9 points behind Liverpool come the end of this running, and that's too far.
We'll see. But I've got to rein it back in because this is supposed to be
of course,
am I United Leicester preview. So AR Dan's confident that we beat Leicester. John, let's go with your predicted team, mate. Let's try it again. Because I remember I asked you like maybe an hour ago, and then we went into this whole deep debate, which was really good. What's your team, my friend? How do you think Ollie lined up?
Right, De Gea in net. We've got a reformed De Gea, which is something that we needed. Wan-Bissaka, he's all right to play. He's not suspended anymore, is he?
No, he's not suspended. He was suspended in the Champions League, but that's been rescinded.
I couldn't remember where it was, Champions League or Premier League. But yeah, so Wan-Bissaka right back. I'm going to expect it to be Bailly and Lindelof because of the calf injury and obviously Varane's injury. So
you don't see Phil Jones maybe getting in there? I think he's actually fit now. He might sneak in there. Ollie might see him as a favourite.
You may put him instead of Bailly.
Who backs? Is Maguire the one backup for those two? Potentially.
It's Phil
Mengi.
No, it's Mengi's here, isn't it? I don't think he's going to play. I don't think he's going to play anyone like that against.
You won't play Mengi or anyone like that. You won't trust.
I don't think he would.
No, I'm just what I'm saying is that cross your fingers for Bailly. Bailly gets injured. Maguire's had 1 day of training. Okay, Usman's okay. All right, Phil Jones train. I see. All right, got it.
Yeah, Phil Jones has been training for a few weeks now, hasn't he?
He's got it.
Usman, be real, man. Come on, that's too many jokes there.
That is pure sarcasm, by the way.
You sounded serious as well. I was like, what? What's Usman talking about?
So then we're going to go for Shaw as left back.
Right.
I think he's all right to play. I like Tellez when he played with Villarreal against Villarreal. I think he played all right. It wasn't perfect. You can see he was a bit rusty, but I think Shaw.
Well, that goal just made
goal
any kind of inconsistency.
It reminded me of Robben. When Robben did it to us and broke my heart.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, fucking heartbroken. But you know what? I look back at that goal and go, that was a bloody good goal.
It was good. I hated that. Yeah, good goal.
So then I'm gonna go with a McTominay and I'm gonna go McTominay and Pogba in the pivot.
So he stays with a 4-2-3-1, you think?
Yeah, sadly, I really don't see him doing a 4-3-3. Does anybody else?
He did it against Villarreal. Well, he tried it against Villarreal.
He tried it, but I think he needs to implement that in, bit by bit through the season, because I feel that's where we need to be. We do need to be at that point, because when you've got Maguire and Varane both fit and playing at their best, you don't need two in front of them. And even with the fact of having Pogba and Bruno, there's one thing that they're likely not to do and likely to do, and it's give the ball away, not in any bad way, but trying to do something, try and make a move happen, and we get broke on. And at that point, when we haven't got a good defense, you need those, the McFred sort of partnership to try and break or slow down that attack. So that's how I see it at the moment, anyway. So you're going to have Bruno in the 10, then I'm going to go with Rashford to start. I can't see him not starting.
Okay.
And Cristiano up front with Jadon on the right.
I hope Jadon starts on that right because we need to see him there. Our right side is not good. I mean, Greenwood's been good, but I'm sorry, the cutting in and shooting, it's not a winger's. That's not the fundamentals of a winger. It's got to be dribbling a bit.
No, I think the problem with that though is Salah has sort of ruined that for most football fans now, where you know that Salah's going to literally cut in and make that movement, score those goals, and everyone should be doing that sort of thing. And
well, why do you say he's ruined it though? Because we saw in that Man City game, he actually got an assist for Mane, and then he did the little baby Messi thing that he did.
Yeah,
with the dribbling. He actually balanced out that right wing a little bit. I've got to say.
For once, but how many times has he not done that? He goes in for that goal.
But then when he's been bad sometimes, he gets the goals. That's the thing.
No, you want them to score, but at the same time, like you were saying, that the actual winger's job is to put the ball in, and that's why Jadon's going to be that player. But if you've got Greenwood as the right wing, he's going to cut in. Wan-Bissaka's not going to go all the way up and make that overlap like old school Bex and Neville. One thing back in the day where you're going to have Neville overlay for Bex. Bex would go down the wing, pass it back to Bex, and he would put that pinpoint. You could literally drop a needle on that, and it's going in the back of the net because he puts it on that finer.
Don't you think they used to make it easy for Neville to overlap, because we know Neville couldn't dribble and do anything like that. Neville wasn't he had good crossing him. Yeah,
he kick the ball.
The thing is, what I don't see is the right winger doesn't pull the opposition's left back in so that it creates space for Wan-Bissaka to overlap it enough. It seems like he gets past the ball and he's expected to go past players. Well, we know Bissaka, even though he used to be a winger, he can't dribble that well. It seems like this goes back to coaching. It needs to be drilled for that winger to help Bissaka get the space, drag in their fullback, so he creates space to the right.
Well, that's true. I think that's what they're trying to do, But even though you've been trained that, you're not going to be first game in there and you're pulling all players, and I think it takes time to get used to how some people are not clever to say that they're going to not go, fall for it to try and to narrow that space down. So you've got the broader, wider winger on the right, where you probably say that if Wan-Bissaka does cut in to try and narrow that defense down, you've got that one outlet pass to.
But John, you're starting Jadon on the right, yeah? You think they would do that? I just think for 75 mil, I know there's got to be time for players to incorporate themselves into the team, but I want to see more of that come in, because we've seen Jadon wander onto the left for some reason. I don't know why that's happened.
Because of injury. That we wouldn't have had that if Rashford was fully fit at the start of the season, would we? We know Rashford would be down that left. Yeah. There's three things that are expected in life: birth, death.
I'm not sure though.
And Rashford on the left-hand side.
John, I'm not even sure about that, because for England, he's even played on the left. It's like there's some kind of obsession with playing him on the left. It's weird.
I don't understand Gareth Southgate in the best of times, but I know what you mean by the whole point. I think it's because at Dortmund we didn't see it as much, but he was flitting around right, left, centre forward, and actually centre attacking mid. So he could play all four of those roles when it comes to Jadon. But again, it's going from a new country, new league. The intensity is different, the speed's different. You even heard Ollie say to Varane, "So what did you think?" Very quick, not what I expected. And he's Champions League Varane. As I always say, even though you play a Champions League game against like Barcelona and stuff like that, you can struggle. But does that mean that they're going to be able to come into the Premier League and boss it? Because the league style is different.
Well, then there's what you're saying there in terms of the general picture of the league being physical and fast. Then, but there's also when you got to look at what the manager's doing, isn't it? We've seen Ole. There's the predominant counter-attack thing, which which Sancho didn't do at Dortmund. He likes the build-up play, the one-touch stuff. So that's obviously going to be a reason why he's got to adapt too. But I'm thinking if you're trying to dominate games, we've got to get with the build-up play rather than counter-attack, which is why I'm not really backing the Ole tactics at the moment.
Tiki-taka is something that we've seen on a regular basis. Even if you take away what Pep does, you know, we've seen it under Wenger. I can't think of his name, and it just escaped me for a second. You know, we saw that tiki-taka under Arsene, and even though it worked, doesn't mean it works all the time. You can have 1,001 passes and make someone move out of the way, but it doesn't mean that you're gonna, you know, win the game, win the season. You know,
I hear what you're saying, John, but I just think we've got to try and dominate games a bit more. I just got to get into the comments a bit right now. People are saying 4-3-3 disastrous. My Massini, thanks for getting in here again. AR Dan saying I can feel 3-5-2. I've heard that be bandied about, like because we've got the injuries to our defenders. 3-5-2.
Could you imagine that? That'd be like Phil
Shaw.
Jones.
That would be Shaw by Lindelof. At least in this iteration.
Yeah, I could see that happening. And then you're bringing Tellez
left back. Yeah, I was gonna say that. Yeah.
Well, then Wan-Bissaka's got to try and do that right wing back, which
I'll start Delo person. On the right.
Okay, I mean, at least he'd be covered at right wing back by the right centre back, because we've seen with Usman, you were on the show where I said Dan Juma for Villarreal was
absolutely
killing Dalot, looking like Neymar, bargain basement Neymar. That was ridiculous, mate. That can't happen again. So maybe in a 3-2 works.
Is that on the Eddie O2? Is that on the Eddie O2 t-shirt?
Yeah.
Bargain basement Neymar?
If I was a troll, I'll bring that out, mate. But nah.
I think you should do. It'd be kind of funny. Merch.
Well, okay. We've got to get into what Usman's thinking then for the team. What's your lineup, my friend?
Yeah, no, it's very similar to John's actually. Obviously the back five kind of picks itself. Obviously, I was joking with the Phil Jones shout earlier. Just to clarify, regarding the midfield, I mean, I would start Matic and Pogba, but I don't think this is the game for Matic.
Sorry, Usman. Are you sure you were joking? You can say it with your chest if you want Jones to come in.
No, I'm not having that on my name. Matic, I would start basically. Matic would be my number one in that position, regardless of who's fit. But this is not the game for Matic. You know, Leicester City are fantastic in transition and notoriously very good on the break. This game for me is worrying because I feel like on the break we've conceded a lot of goals, even with the likes of Fred and McTominay there, who are going to be these high energy players who are fantastic at screening in Ollie's eyes, but we consistently concede goals on the break. So I think that is a concern for me. The midfield is going to be an issue today or tomorrow even. However, in saying that, with what we've got available, it probably has to be McTominay and Pogba. If Pogba's not starting, I'm going to be baffled. He's just come off a very successful trip with France, of course. So McTominay, Pogba kind of picks itself. It's not the game for Matic. Bruno, the number 10. Greenwood doesn't start for me. Sancho on the right wing, which is where we bought him. He has to play on the right wing without a shadow of a doubt. Again, Sancho very successful in transition. He's a player who's got a very high IQ in the key moments on the break. You know, he's going to make the right decision 9 out of 10 times. And I think we need to utilize his strengths rather than putting him in scenarios where he's potentially not going to flourish, which is what I've seen at the moment. On the left wing, which I have not heard his name at all, surprisingly, has to be Martial. I'm really surprised no one mentioned his name. And I'm not sitting here saying Martial is our best option in the left wing currently. Of course, that is Rashford. We know that. But what I said earlier was that, you know, Rashford, for me personally, we need to wrap him up in cotton wool. As John said earlier, Rashford is a key component of any success we're going to have this season. He's the game changer. He offers us a different dimension. He's got the ability to run in behind. A lot of our players currently want the ball to feet, which is becoming very predictable for opposition to defend against us. Rashford would not want, well, he does demand the ball to feet, but he's not scared of going the other way. He allows us to stretch the
Usman,
play.
you said Martial can run in behind. That's what you're saying, yeah?
No, I didn't say that. I said
which one?
As I said, Rashford for me needs to be wrapped in cotton wool because he will be running in behind consistently. So what I'm trying to say is I don't want him to be rushed back for this game. I think Martial has just scored. You know, he's going to have a bit of confidence. We know when Martial is a confidence player. You know, he loves a purple patch alongside other players that we've got in our squad. So he should keep his place if he's fit. I mean, he started and he scored. So I'm not saying he set the world alight, but after his goal, you start to see, Martial of old in terms of he's demanding the ball, he's playing 1-2s, he's interchanging, that kind of thing. And for me, Rashford 30 minutes off the bench, I don't see why we need Rashford to beat Leicester. I just don't think there's any need for him to be rushed back. We know Cavani's not available anyway, so
Ollie's played him through injury, though, Usman.
I know, but this is the problem, though. We need Rashford for the entirety of the season, not just for one game. After this one game, you can play him week in, week out. I've got no qualms about that. But this one game, he needs to be protected. You saw with Luke Shaw, he got rushed back, and he was absolutely shambolic again. I mean, he started all right against Everton, and then his performance dipped once again. And I thought Tellers should have started that game as well. Tellers just scores a banger against Villarreal. Shaw's not fully fit. He's just come back from an injury, and he's rushed back. I mean,
but Usman, we've seen these indictments. We've seen it happen with Tomine getting played straight after.
I know, but that's where Ollie's going wrong. Is he needs to learn from his mistakes. McTominay should not play that game either. So for me, there's no way.
Ollie, though, is it? That's medical staff not helping either.
I mean, it's both, isn't it? Medical staff, I agree. Obviously, have to be, you have to give him that information, of course. Yeah. But at the same time, Ollie needs to be wise enough. He's been around the block. He's not a nobody. The guy's been in the game for God knows how many years. He knows it. He knows the game in a sense, and he's been managing for a long time as well. So for me, Martial should start this game. Sancho on the right gives us good balance. Ronaldo up top. Obviously, people have got their qualms about Ronaldo, but Ronaldo's Ronaldo. Give him the service and he'll score. It's as simple as that. I don't want Rashford to be rushed back and potentially pick up another knock off the back of this. We've got a lot of hard games. We've got Atlanta, Liverpool, and Atlanta again. We need Rashford fully fit for that Liverpool game. I'd start him against Atlanta and give him his minutes there. This ain't the game for Rashford for me personally.
Okay, fair enough to that, man. Good analysis there. I just got to bring in this comment from Fire for Fire. Thanks for getting in here, man. Ollie is the man to take us forward. Just needs a proper CDM. We've heard the club come out with the statement that they need a game-changing CDM. We've heard that finally after how many millions has been spent on the squad. And then even though we knew as fans that the centre midfield is kind of dodgy, apart from Matic, we're struggling for CDMs. So they're saying that now. Before I come to your team, Jared, I want to hear what John's got to say on this one. Do you think
I need to go because my mate's in Charles, guys. Sorry to interrupt you, but I just want to say thank you for having me on. It's been an absolute pleasure as always. Obviously, have a good rest of the show. Just a quick score prediction: 2 on Man United. 2 on Man United, no NDD, which means Man United should realistically win this game. So obviously he's the main man to break up play for them. So I'm not sold on Hamza Chadri. But thank you for having me on. It's been an absolute pleasure. Enjoy the rest of the show, my guys.
Where can people find you? Where can people find you, Usman?
Yeah, you can follow me on obviously Twitter, Usman Talks United, and obviously YouTube, exactly the same, 2 A's. Feel free to come show me some love. I'd appreciate it. Thank you, Eddie, for the shout out, my guy, man. Appreciate it, man. Thank you, people. God bless.
Take care,
man.
Take care, man.
Take care, mate. Right, let me see if I can sort this out. That's a bit whack, innit? Hey, we've got a nice one here. So, John, do you want to talk about this comment there, man? I'm sure you've got a viewpoint on whether CDM changes things before we get into Jared's team.
Well, I think it does. Like 100%, it does change things. Does it change for the better? I hope so. It's a difficult one. I feel that sometimes just take away who we've signed, like take away Ronaldo, take away Sancho, take away Varane. Yeah, we can see that other teams have had one player come in and it changed their team dramatically. Sometimes for the better, sometimes for the worst. Now, is that because the team around them is getting used to the way that this player plays? I'm gonna gather so. I would like to say that getting a CDM is not going to, hamper us because they're going to do the job that we need, depending on where we get them from. I wanted Camavinga, but Camavinga at the same time wasn't actually a CDM. He was a central midfielder that plays very defensively and plays well defensively. This is where I think Ollie comes into this moment where he said that I don't really regulate a 6, an 8, a 10. You're a centre midfielder. What are you good at? Like some of them are good at tackling, some of them are good at passing, some of them are good at, through balls.
But he
Shooting.
wants them to be all rounders, though, John. He wants them to be box to box. When we've seen Fred's limitations, we've seen McTominay. Yeah, I don't know. Sometimes he's got limitations as well. Man, I don't really like the technical level of these guys we have in that midfield. So I don't know how they can be box to box. But
well, you can be box to box and have that. Obviously, there's levels, isn't there? There's always levels when it comes to a player, isn't there? There's Ronaldo levels, and then there's like the John Joe Shelby levels. There's plenty of like distance between them. But if you look at the logical of it, someone like Fred would absolutely own me in midfield. Like, I'm not turning around and saying, he is a quality player, but he's just maybe not Manchester United quality. But what do we want him there for? We're not asking him to be a Paul Pogba, where he's going to open his eyes, see the vision, and just pass that ball through an eye of a needle. He doesn't do that. Well, then again, you haven't seen the Neymar goal against Uruguay yesterday. It was a bit of a pinpoint accuracy pass.
It was pretty decent.
It was really. I didn't watch the game. I just see the highlights on Twitter. So he can clearly do this. He has done it before. Lindelof's done it. So it is possible. It's just when you need the player to do something like that. It's maybe confidence in the player. Maybe because of people on Twitter calling him all sorts of names, he thinks, I will just play the safe shot because I can't be bothered being told off by a million new managers that have gone and got their UEFA badges. You know what I mean? Like, CDM, depending on who we get, if we get Wilfred Ndidi, would that make us a better team? You've got Paul Pogba in front of him, and I think it would do. He knows the Premier League. You don't have to technically. The only thing that he needs to get used to is the players around him, and that's probably the same reason why we're not banging him with Ronaldo, where he could be getting hat tricks every game, because the players that are around him don't know his movements. I know they know his movements. They're watching him, but I mean, like,
that's where it comes back to coaching. You've got to know people's movements. If they're moving random, you're not going to get used to a team. And if a manager's going to drill that organization, that's what will help a team or a new player to embed himself into what's going on. So for me, if I'm going to talk about that CDM coming in, it's still going to be like, maybe there might be too much pressure on him if he doesn't know what the rest of the team's doing. If they're doing the pragmatism of trying to, soak up pressure, then counterattack, you got to have players helping the whole team to defend. You got to defend as a team rather than just relying on a new guy coming in.
But we know that Ronaldo's not going to do that. He don't press from the front.
And that's why. Sorry to interrupt, John. I was just going to say for me, I was just going to say that's why getting a CDM for me is so important, because if we say, okay, Greenwood, you're the striker, he's not going to really track back. Ronaldo's not going to track back. If you have Marshall on the left wing, he's pretty much not going to track right. So we're left with Pogba, right? Who's going to be playing, right? He's going to be playing in that double pivot or in some form of midfield, because he's got that contract. He's going to be free in that summer. All he wants him, he's going to have to play him. But he's not a really defensive guy either. So that's why I think the midfield for us is either going to be Ollie figuring out how to use the players that he has and making them work, or it's going to be the anchor that eventually sinks him.
Well, that's okay. a very good analogy of that, to be fair. What was it? Rushmano said Kessie. Is that AC Milan player, isn't it?
Yeah.
I'm not 100% on Kessie. To be fair.
I've not seen enough of him myself, but when we played them in the Europa League, he looked all right. I'm just die hard. Want to stay on this 4-3-3. I want a number 6 to come in and play there. I don't, because Kessie plays in the 4-2-3-1 for AC Milan, so I don't know how he would do as a number 6 if we were to buy him as that kind of position. Yeah, so
realistically, you're looking at what number 6s will come in to make Manchester United a better Manchester United, and you're looking at Wilfred Ndidi. You're looking at
Mamacini has spoken. I'm sorry, Matic.
Right.
I keep saying that he could do this job. There's a myth that he can't do 90 minutes.
it's not the fact that he can't do 90 minutes. He can do 90 minutes, but he's not going to do 90 minutes for more than one game a week. When you've got Champions League that you might want to play, or the, well, not Carabao Cup anymore, but I went to that game. It was kind of, you talk about, was it exciting? Definitely exciting. I was still screaming at the 90th minute at the referee. So I think that was exciting. It just wasn't the outcome that we wanted. But Matic, I've not had a problem with Matic. I think him on the ball, quality, his vision, quality, but he hasn't got, it's like Mata. We could utilize Mata more, but we know that legs wise, he can't do what we want him to do. And
I just think in the 4-3-3 with 2 8s, they will do the running for him. But we've got a guest coming on now. I don't know if he's actually ready. Cinnamon, can you hear me, my friend?
Oh, of course I can.
Yes, Cinnamon. How are you doing, mate?
Not bad. Hi, Eddie and John and Jared. Been watching the show.
Nice to meet you.
Cool.
Nice to meet you.
We've got an Arsenal fan in here. We're gonna get to some of your points on Arsenal. But yeah, this is Cinnamon. You've got your YouTube. You do. You still doing the gaming, mate?
I've been taking a bit of a break, but yeah, like you said, Eddie, do a bit of gaming, but yeah, a gooner through and through. So I'm just here. I've been asked to come here just to join in a bit of the after chat, because I don't have that much input with the United side versus Leicester, but I've been watching the show tentatively and listening to all the opinions. But yeah, just a little bit of a roundup. The pig wanted to do a bit of a roundup, a bit of a chat with you guys and see what you think. So,
people are saying hi, Shazad Ahmed, hi Cinnamon, Vuginator,
Shazad,
hi mates. But yeah, thanks for everyone still getting in here. G Wolf Gaming, Rushmano, John K, Gungshi, Griffo Chaz, Rich Sports. Thanks for still getting in here. Gary Bennett. United survived without Pogba before. We'll do it again. So that's a different thing. But
Eddie, can I just make a quick point?
We got to get to your teammate.
Yeah. John, I wanted. I know he wasn't an out-and-out CDM, but I would have loved to have taken Saul on loan this season for $5 million. I would have absolutely done that, and I felt like it would have improved our midfield.
I honestly thought we were going to. When he was linked with the Premier League move, I thought that was us. I didn't think it was Chelsea, but
and right. And that's the thing. Like you see Rodri and Fernandinho at City. You see Conte and Jorginho at Chelsea. You see Henderson and Fabinho at Liverpool. And it's, Fred, McTominay, Matic, maybe at Pogba at our club. It hurts. It hurts, John. It hurts.
Yo, Cinema, you designed that for Gungshi before the stream.
So my lineup. Hi. Oh, nice.
That's what I was laughing at. Apologies. I just saw it come up in.
That's hilarious. Gungshi's laughing.
It reminds me of like the WWE, when they hold the signs up and stuff like that.
Yeah, the groupies just come up with the signs.
Yeah, no, I'm surprised no one else got it. No, he's like my uncle. I've been here since the beginning of the show, beginning of the channel, and I don't think I've spoken to you guys personally, but I came in and he was there from day one. So he's like my uncle. Lives over in Taiwan. I see him as my adopted uncle. But yeah, just what makes sense.
Oh yeah, you guys.
Jared, sorry for interrupting you.
No. I knew that Gungshi had a fan club. I knew. I just had. So I think I'm gonna go. As much as G Wolf wants the 4-3-3, I can't go with it. I think that we are going to have problems in the midfield tomorrow. I am going to go with the 4-2-3-1. I'm going to go with Pogba and McTominay. I'd rather not go with Pogba and McTominay, but that's going to be my choice. I'm going to go with Sancho, Bruno, Greenwood, and then Ronaldo up top.
Wait. Where's Greenwood? What wing is Greenwood on then?
Right.
On the right. Sancho on the left.
Because I think that he goes with familiarity. And I think that he is going to really want to get points straight away during this run of games here. And I think that he trusts Greenwood.
Okay. Before you carry on, Jared, sorry, I just got to say shout out to Gunksy for the super chat. Cinnamon, you absolute legend. What a handsome devil you are. Getting there, my son. Wow, the bromance that's going on here. This is kind of
honestly,
interrupting the stream, guys. You guys want to get a room off the stream or something?
No, he's a legend of the channel. He's been there from day one. He supports Flying Pig and all of us.
That's true. That's true.
Cinnamon, were you ever Arteta unhappy or Arteta out?
So this is probably, of course. I mean, it'd be a good point for me to come on at this point of juncture, because back in 2001, 2002, Arsenal was still in the prime, in their prime with again with Fergie, with United. Great two team. There was always a 2-horse race. From 99, 2000, 2001, 2-horse race. The odd team would sneak in there, but
wow, how far are we going back here?
Early 2000s, and I saw the decline of Arsenal.
That's 20 years ago.
Oh yeah, exactly. Of the decline, like you're thinking, 4 years, 5 years. We're still waiting. No, it's not. It's going to come again. Then 10 years without a title. So I'm asking about what your thoughts are, United fans. You're coming up to.
You should have left the professor to try and fix the mess that he was in. My brother's an Arsenal fan too. He says it got too bad to keep Wenger there, but I saw some of the football that he used to do. Yeah, he won you guys cups. He did. For me, his length of success means he should have a period where you give him some credit for some of the drawbacks that were happening. You give him a bit more time rather than go for the Spanish vampire that came in, Emre, and then a Spanish rookie that came in.
I think Emery should have been given more time, personally.
Yeah.
Like, it's nothing obviously to do with me. I don't support them or anything, but the idea of how well Emery does get out of his squads, they had a better chance with him than keep swapping manager. I think what it is they've seen the success from Wenger, which is very hard to replicate, even though it might not have been the same success as Sir Alex Ferguson. It's a long manager, knows the team. Like you said, Eddie, that he maybe should have been given more grace, but I think that a certain side of the section of Arsenal fans put that pressure on
AFTV, John.
I didn't want to. You have
to say them.
Yeah, I didn't want to bring the names up, but yes, you said it there and there. AFTV getting angry, making millions of views just off raw. We wouldn't even call it passion, really, because they're not passionate. They're just angry people that put someone out of a job, and then they've had worse sort of times since that. Like, did you think that winning an FA Cup and then finishing 8th was
for 2 seasons too?
Yeah, very Arsenal-y. Even though you might not be in the top 4, like that's something for me was strange to see, because I've been so used to watching that fight between Sir Alex and Wenger that dropped. Like, even what was it? The overlap yesterday or the day before, when it came out saying that Ty saying, "Well, we're a big team, Arsenal. We're a big team."
Oh, Ty. Ty's still talking about Will Todd scoring at Old Trafford in that season where they won. Was that 20 years ago as well?
Exactly.
Ty is just stuck in the past, man.
But that's it. Like, we remember it as United fans. There was nobody about that would challenge us, really. Like, Chelsea weren't even thought of. They didn't have Roman's billions. City weren't thought of with the Qatar billions. So it was down to Arsenal, and maybe in the long run that they shouldn't have done what they did because of fan pressure. Just because the fans want it doesn't mean that the fans know what's best for their club. Even though they're passionate.
This is what I've been saying, John. It's got to be, the owners have got to have that vision, haven't they? This is why it goes against our owners too, is that they don't know the football properly. So they're getting these things wrong, where the chief executive is not getting in the right players for the manager. We've seen it. I mean, I'll go back to the Van der Beek point. The guy should not be wasted for these 2 seasons. He should have been plugged in as a Champions League experienced guy. So it comes to the owners having to know what they want rather than putting it all on the manager. You know what I'm saying? Like
Well,
Chelsea have a standard where they go. The CEO knows to get a certain type of player. That's why for me, that's why Tuchel was able to take that team, because they already got the blueprint there. They already got the players that fit into a 4-3-3 or 3-5-2, whatever it was. They already got the players there for manager to come in and take it.
Wasn't it an 8-1-1 or something like that when against City?
There's sometimes where it was too defensive. I know what you're saying, but
this is the point. I think, yeah, Lampard had a lot of money spent on him. You know, what was it, 250 million? You know, I was talking about net spend, and obviously Usman said it was pointless, but I don't find that net spend is pointless. I feel that that's your actual true money that you're spending in the club, like in a sense where you look at what they got as a team, Chelsea. You're saying that Tuchel came in and was able to take that. Well, of course, because they did have a footballing director, or whatever you want to call the woman that brought all the players in, a way that they want to do it. But
yeah, she's the director.
She's phenomenal. Yeah.
But then they're not successful all the time. Like, great having all this money to spend, and then they may win something every 5 years. Of course, it's a bit rich to say from United.
John. Sorry, John, I got to call you on that. Yeah, I was doing research in Chelsea. I wish I had the stats here. They've won like a cup every other year. They do well. They've got like Europa Cups, Champions Leagues, and leagues in there.
Well,
if you look at it,
Champions League,
in the last 10 years, they've done well.
Yeah, but that's as long as they've been alive for, isn't it? Like, they weren't relevant before that, while we were winning cups, and we were winning like twice as many of them. And then
I want to agree with you, John, because I hate the firing managers every season or every 2 seasons. It's not good for longevity. But they have, if you look at the silverware last decade, they've been doing well, better than Man United.
Yeah, that's because of money spent and being able to do that. First of all, they're not in debt like we are. So the money that they get is literally, they are in debt. They're in debt to Roman, you know, and he's not asked. He'll give them 300 million and then take it back through the year. He's not asked about that. You know, we won't have an owner that goes, how much do you want? Oh, here's 300 million. Go and spend it the way you please. All right. Yeah. He's had 400 million to spend. You know, and that's not what he's truly spent, though, is it? Once they've clawed their money back, you know, for me, we shouldn't have got rid of Lukaku, and we should have still signed Maguire. Do you know why? Because then we're strengthening a team. You getting rid of a striker loosens our strike force, but then gets our defense a bit stronger. So really, you haven't got the team any stronger. You've made it weak to then make it strong again, which I feel that's backwards. If we had an owner that didn't give 2 fucks, we'd literally have gone and spent all the money that we earn, because we earn the most out of anybody.
We've had a good window, though, John. We've had a good window.
Yeah, but you imagine what that window would have been like if we were allowed to spend 200 million, like Chelsea. Because we didn't spend that, did we? Just because we spent 75 million, that's the asking price on Jadon Sancho. We paid them 15-20 million. That's it for this season. They've got a 5-year contract to pay that 75 million off. Same with Varane and same with Ronaldo. We've actually really spent like 60 million this transfer window of our own money. The next season we'll have to spend that again. But the principle of it is we could have easily spent twice that much, brought in a centre defensive mid, you know, and look like we mean business, but we've not had an opportunity to do that.
Yeah.
But what I see with Arsenal is that they spent more than us in the last 2 seasons, but they haven't done anything with it because of where they stand they stand in the table. Well, that's where you stand in the table. The reason why I don't mind Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is because you have to build a squad that you're culpable for. Your limitations are, and
he's culpable now. There's so many signings in there. It's not even just this transfer window. Season.
Do you think we're going to get Ronaldo or Jadon Sancho while we were in 6th position and not getting Champions League? No, they don't want to come. Like, you have to have Champions League football, the best football, to bring the best players in. You might have to pay a bit more money for them wages wise, but that principle is you give the best football, and it will attract the best players.
Like, for me, John, I've just got to say Ole's been backed more than these previous managers that have been there since since Alex Ferguson was there. He's got to do something with this team that he's bought. Like 3 of the back 4 are his. He's brought in people like I mean, James came and he went. He's brought in Ahmad. He's brought in all of these flying wingers. He's brought in Ronaldo. He's brought in well, Van der Beek, I say, is not really his, but he's had a backing to the point where we should be getting some better football. I just come back to the football, but before I come to anyone else, I just got to say, Rushmano super chat. Chelsea are ruthless in the transfer market, but don't forget who owns Manchester United. Always glazes out. I guess that comes back a little bit to what you're saying there, John. But I just think he's got enough to work something with them now, with these players.
I'm not saying he hasn't. I'm not saying he hasn't got. He should be getting a bit more out of these players. But you're brushing 3 players in that haven't played for United, or one's played for United years ago under Sir Alex Ferguson, and he's a different player from when he came in. So I feel that you have to give a chance for all the team around them to get used to that. Now I was just trying to bring up some information that I found online when it comes to actually players.
Where's Cinnamon gone? He just went.
Oh, he left.
I think it's because we stopped talking about Arsenal. People were wondering in the chat while we were chatting about Arsenal too. But anyway, we got back to Man United a little bit. I didn't even say my team, by the way, that I predicted. I was like, let me go for my team because we're going to wrap up in a bit. We'll be going for an hour and 30 minutes. But let me say my team quick now. I think David De Gea in goal, Bailly and Lindelof centre back, Shaw, Wan-Bissaka on the full back positions. McTominay and Pogba, which some of you guys have said, I think they start there. I think Rashford gets fast-tracked in there, back onto the left. Sancho on the right. Bruno Fernandes in that number 10. And yeah, Cristiano Ronaldo up front. So yeah, 4-2-3-1. And well, we're not even doing a score prediction as well. My score prediction as well, if we're going up against Leicester will have Vardy, Iheanacho, Chowdhury, Tielemans, Barnes, Lookman. It's going to be a hard one, I think. I think maybe Man United scrape it 2-1. I think 2-1. People in the chat just getting your predictions too as well. Before I get to John and Jared, first class game. So Cinnamon saying his phone overheated. Okay. Maybe he can get back in later. I don't know. But we're going to wrap up in a bit. But thanks to Cinnamon for getting on here. Jared, what are you saying for a prediction, mate?
2-1. I agree. But I think that this is again going to be a second half score. I don't think this is going to be an easy game.
What do you mean? Are you thinking maybe we go down by the customary 1 goal and do a comeback?
That was going to be my prediction.
Yeah,
that was going to be my prediction. Yeah, 2-1, but we concede first and then come back like we are the comeback kings. If you look at the stats, that Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's got the most points from a losing position than any other manager, which kind of gets to me when we should be winning some of these games. But again, you have to change your tactics to go and win the game. So
that's not good for a formula, is it? That's not good for a formula to keep going the goal down because you require extra energy to dig deep. You have to go to the 100%. Trenches every time 100%. To try and come back.
But at least if you know you can do that, then trying to get that winning ways at the start will come. But I just think that was definitely my prediction anyway. We're going to go 1-0 down at half time, come out for the second half and probably get a Ronaldo brace or something. So I'll say 2-1 United. Yeah,
I forgot to bring up, it's going to be a battle of the OAP strikers, as I said before. It's a bit disrespectful, but we've got 34-year-old Vardy, 36-year-old Ronaldo.
6 goals and 1 assist this season for Jamie Vardy.
He's done well. He's done well.
He's done well.
I think Vardy will score. I think Vardy will score.
I think Vardy will score. That's what I think. Well, actually, who was the lad that scored? Was it Iheanacho that scored against us in the FA Cup? Fred threw the ball to him, and
I wanted to forget that match, but mainly because of Fred. I can't remember.
Maybe, but it shapes our future. It makes us stronger. What doesn't kill you makes you Fred. Makes you stronger.
Makes you Fred.
That's not true. Eddie, how much time have we got left?
We're going to wrap up in a bit. We're going to wrap up in a bit. I don't know if you said your prediction.
Have I got a quick question? Because I was going to lead on to. I think you three be quite good to answer this question.
All right. Say your prediction for the game first.
My
and then get into
prediction,
it.
I think Leicester it'll be a 1-1. 1-1 Leicester.
Oh, okay.
All
That's
right.
okay.
Mm.
Don't want to hear that, but okay, fair enough. Fair enough.
I think it's
People in the
gonna be
comment,
2-1
G-Wolf
Palace.
saying 3-1. He's G-Wolf's always positive, thinking we're
Always
gonna
positive.
always. But I don't know. I'm
Maguire's
not
going to
sure.
score. That's what he's going to say. Look, G-Wolf says Maguire's going to score all 3 goals.
Let me
Man of the
just
match.
let me say some more of the people's comments in here. Gongshi 2-1 to United. Everyone, get your predictions in. I'm going to try and highlight you when I can. Okay. Cinnamon. Yeah. What's your question, mate?
Yeah, so I think you three would be really great to ask this at the moment because we've got a divide. I mean, you guys got a divide in your fan base, whether you think Ollie is the man. So I don't know who is Ollie in and Ollie out or Ollie stay neutral. What would it take for you to be Ollie out or Ollie in? So to I'll say all 3 of you.
Okay, hold on before
We go one or whichever way you are at the moment.
Yeah, we're going to start with John and then go to Jared, then me. But I just got to say another super chat. Mamacini, thanks again for a super chat. If the team gets into CR7, no wait, if the team gets into CR7 will score, it's doom. Yeah, see that's going to open up another debate. I mean, we've been talking about the coaching system and all that. Mamacini, just hold that. We might come back to that, but good comment, yeah, because we all know that the team's got to play towards Ronaldo because he's a fox in the box. Yeah, we all know that, innit? So I think that's a good answer to that. So what you saying?
So in
before I go
regards to this,
yeah.
In
With the
regards to this season,
Ollie out thing, yeah.
Okay. What would it take for you to be either in or out?
Okay, I just gotta say to everyone, please keep getting your likes in. Please keep subscribing because I've been forgetting to do this. We've had some good, deep conversation.
Smash that like. Come on.
Smash the like. Keep interacting.
John knows what's up.
John knows what's up. Yeah, he's been causing the debate. I'm blaming John because I asked him at the start of the stream, "What's your team?" And then we went into the Ole kind of tactics. But it's been a very good debate.
I think it was a great debate. You know,
it was awesome, my friend. I like that kind of thing. So, yeah. So,
we have a debate anytime anyway. If you want to do it on Twitter, so you know,
I've seen you on there, man. So yeah, in reference to Cinnamon, then what would it take then?
What would it take for me to be Ollie out? Right, some sort of discord in the disjointedness. Sorry, in the camp, should we say, like a Jose Mourinho style. Throwing his players under the bus and not getting at least Champions League football. Now, it's hard to be honest with you. I love Ole Gunnar Solskjaer as a player. I don't mind him as a manager. I think for what he was brought in to do, he's done his job perfectly. He needs to obviously step up now and maybe bring us some success. Might not do it. Guess what? I don't care because United comes first, in my opinion. Like, I will support the manager, whoever comes in, bar Conte. I won't discredit Conte either, but I won't be that happy if he'd arrived. Zizou comes in, won't mind. Ten Hag comes in, don't mind. Tell you who I wouldn't mind, and if something did come to it, Hansi Flick. But
yeah, he's good. He's good.
So
won the treble in his first season at Bayern Munich. That's got to make you good.
But your dog can win the treble with fucking Bayern Munich.
Come on, dudes. I mean, winning the champion. I mean, I know you can like say shit about the league, but that Champions League though, winning that's a big thing you got to do too. So that's a big one.
Do you think Porto winning the Champions League they were the best team in Europe that season? No,
they were awesome. They were awesome. That's what made Jose. That's the season you're talking about.
But what I'm saying is like it's a cup competition. It's a home and away. You can.
Yeah. That's why they call it the Champions League. It's not like just Champions Cup. You have to beat people home and away.
Well, it was.
You have to be consistent. You have to be consistent.
Boys, let's get back to Cinnamon's question here.
Yeah. Again, we're doing it.
See, I told you about John. John likes to take it TD.
You two digress.
John likes to take it TD. It's John.
Right,
John takes it TD.
That would get me to be Ollie out if he
Jared
was
disjointed
and he drops out of top 4. You need Champions League football for Manchester United. I'm not saying that's the standard. We should be winning the league, but beggars can't be choosers. We haven't won the league since Fergie left, so we can't just go This badge, this means league. It means Premiership champions.
But we're beggars, though. We got come on. That team we've got is not beggars, though. We've got to be controlling more games now.
No, I think we will. It's just, to be fair though, like last season, we were nowhere near this. We're nowhere near where we are now. I think we're in the same time. So we got slapped by Crystal Palace.
We were top 2. I would say the season before that we were nowhere near, but
no, last season we weren't. We were in 15th at the start of the season.
But then I mean, like the progression onwards.
No, I get. Yeah,
remember when we were top of the league? Remember,
we're doing it again. We're doing it again.
Let's move on to Jared. Otherwise, we're here the rest of the evening. We've got better things to do on a Friday night.
Yeah, Jared, what are you saying, mate?
Rashmano, thank you. So here's what I want to see. I want to see progression against the low block. I want to see youth. I want to see somebody coming through that's not given just a couple of minutes. I want to see somebody like Diallo given some kind of substantive time. Whether it's FA Cup, we don't have Carabao anymore, but
yeah.
I want to see some kind of youth coming through and getting on the bench. And I want to see at worst, I want to see third at worst. I want to see a real effort, to when we get possession, to actually make the most of these chances. Because like I said, it's not the tiki-taka that I want, but I want to be able to, have that possession and keep probing the offense around the box, look for Ronaldo, get Greenwood the ball. I want to be able to keep and do something with the ball instead of losing it and then just having that counterattack be successful, because I feel like most of the counterattacks against us from Villarreal, from Aston Villa, from Everton, I think that they're successful against us most of the time. We get overrun. So those are the things that I want to look for this season from Ollie. But like I said, I think these next 10 fixtures are very important.
Yeah, I just gotta get into the comments before because I've been neglecting them a little bit. Sorry to everyone in the comments if I've been neglecting you guys, but we have some good deep debate. Yeah, people were still getting in their predictions for the game. Luke Cooper, I can tell you, he's maybe a Leicester fan saying 3-1 Leicester. Nah, I can't see that. AR Dan's a Man U fan. 2-0. That's gotta be 2-0 Man United. Liman
he's anti-Vardy.
What?
I just said he's anti-Vardy.
Anti-Vardy. Yeah.
Because John and I have predicted a Vardy goal.
Right. Liman Issa saying 3-1. I think I'm not sure. You gotta say you gotta put in the chat if you're saying to Man United or Leicester if they're gonna win here. Aaron Hermione, a good mod in here saying I'm going to say 4-2 to Man U. I'd like to see some goals like that. I'd be good with that. I'd like a 4-2. I want to see goals.
Shouldn't technically that 3-1 be a Leicester win, because aren't we away from home?
Yeah, but then we got Flying Pig United fans said 3-1 United though. See, when people put it like that, then they mean that it's United. So,
yeah, of course, it's 3-1 United, isn't it? Because they're saying it. But I mean, like, if someone says 3-1 and then not mentioned who it is, it would be to the home team, isn't it? Which would be, I'm guessing, Leicester. Well, not guessing.
Okay, I guess so. But for the most part, people are saying Man United win.
Well, being a United channel.
Yeah, that's to be expected.
That they are saying that. Yeah,
of course. The
bias pretty bad if they were going all Leicester.
That's what it's all about. The bias. That's what it is. Yeah, Jared. Did you actually say when you'd be Ollie out though?
Well, he just asked what would cause me to be Ollie out, and would if he doesn't bring you
all the things he doesn't do those things. Basically.
All them ones, yeah. Okay, cool. I mean, for me, because you said you'd be all right with top 3 though. That's what you said.
Well, I'm gonna tell you right now. I don't think unless we do something with the midfield, I feel that City and Chelsea and actually Liverpool have better midfields, and I feel like that is going to be our Achilles heel. So either we solve the problem, or it's going to be what holds us back is because we have an elite defense, we have an elite front line. We have an elite goalie, a world-class goalie. The only thing that we don't have is that midfield.
Transition.
Yeah, exactly.
And transition.
And the ability to play multiple formations without just having to fall back on the 4-2-3-1.
Transition relates to coaching. That's what I can say. Because if if you're going to do things from defensive attack, you've got to know where people are making the runs. You got to know, apart from counter attack, I don't really enjoy counter attack. It's too much of a moments kind of thing. You've got to build up the play. You've got to have the 1-2s in midfield. I mean, I've said this before on previous shows. You've got to have that kind of possession play where in midfield, you know what you're going to, what kind of zone you're going to be in. You know where someone's going to back you up. You know where someone's going to make a run. These things we don't see enough. We see like moments of it. So yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Rushmano, thanks for getting in here again. I want to see better time subs. Okay. Improved high press. Yeah, see, that's like relates to kind of what Klopp does with the Gegen press. Want to see the high press. But we've got Ronaldo, he doesn't even do that. So that's a task for Ole to try and do.
Off. Yeah. He is that 10 defenders on the pitch. It is that 10 strikers on the pitch. The defending starts from the front, and if your first player ain't doing it, it doesn't matter how many people around you is going to try to do it. They're just going to play around you, and you're pretty screwed.
Yeah, all the roads for me lead back to coaching as well as players. There, for me, Ole's got to do a bit more, because it can't keep being about Ole saving his job, because we've seen what happened last season. The team gets pulled into pragmatism. Yeah. So I'm going to go into what would make me Ole out. Yeah. For me, to keep doing the pragmatic football, to keep doing this thing where the major rhetoric is that we've got to save Ole, rather than, okay, Ole, you've steadied the ship. Yeah. You've done the pragmatism. You've done these things which have got us 2 top 4 qualifications. Now it's like, okay, steady the ship. Now, what course are we going on? Where are we going to? Are we Chris Columbus? Are we going to go and try and discover the new Americas? Or are we just going to stay there and stagnate? That's what I'm saying. We've got to go on new voyages.
Titanic. I think you're going to talk about Titanic there as well, actually. No lie.
That's the worst case. That would be awful.
That's me holding Ole up there going, we can do this, Ole.
You're Leonardo DiCaprio putting up Kate Winslet saying we can do it. But
hey, I'll never let go, Ole.
Arsenal is unbeaten in 4, right?
Is that what we're saying? Yeah.
Yes.
After the first 3 games.
But my question was, before that winning streak, like, did you feel like you were sinking? And you were, yeah. So now you've got a little bit of Kate Winslet lift to you.
Well, I think before my audio is cutting out here as soon as my equipment's rubbish today, but I'll answer that, because when I saw the
overheating again.
No, it's the battery on it. When I saw the fixtures, I just knew that the first 3 games we're lucky to win one of them. And obviously, when Arsenal lost to Brentford in the first game, the banter started. They're going to get no points. But it just takes a little change, then you're back up in mid-table. It's too early. I mean, even you guys, you're starting to see it's starting to shape up a bit more, but it's still quite early to start panicking and having these debates, Ole out, Ole in, sort of thing. In my opinion. But saying that,
STP Mitchell, sorry, mate, I just got to say this because it's kind of backing up a little bit what you're saying. You're saying you can't sack a manager who's progressed on his league position every year. So far, only one better now, and that's to prove he has the ability to win the league. So that's kind of on the back of what you're saying, though, Cinderman.
It's true point, though, isn't
so,
it?
So I was saying the next games you've got a hard, difficult run. I think Spurs, Liverpool, City, obviously Leicester tomorrow, and some Champions League games. You've got quite a difficult 7 games. So, I mean, if you come out of that, unscathed, so to speak, 10, 12 points,
By the way,
it's still.
Sorry, Cinderman. Someone's got to do a Photoshop of Ole being lifted up, like in Kate Winslet's place, like just Ole being lifted up. That'd be funny. And you got all the Avengers just lifting up Ole like on the Titanic. That would be an awesome Photoshop. Someone get on that.
8 days we have Liverpool.
Come on, we're looking too far ahead. But I don't even want to think about that. I want to.
Yeah,
let's
get Leicester done first.
Let's get it done. Let's get the homework done right now. But guys, we've been going on too long, by the way, so we've actually got to wrap up. Yeah, 1 hour 48 minutes. Everyone, thanks for getting in. Sing Games, STP, Mitchell, AR, Dan, Gongshi, Rushmano, CCR2971.
The stamina on the brigade today.
The stamina is in here.
Yeah.
GTL Red. Everyone. Sorry, I couldn't read everyone's comments, but just the
He was too
depth.
busy arguing with me.
I was just gonna say, John, the depth of content and debate that we've been in has just been so that. If we gotta do it again, it's been such that I couldn't even multitask enough to see what people are saying. We got into it deep. Yeah. So, John, thanks for getting on here, mate. Where can people find you, mate?
Right, it's either the United Way on YouTube. I do Premier League predictions mainly. Match day vlogs when I go. Twitter is the OGS Effect. Surprisingly, could you imagine it being anything else? For how much I praise Ollie. And on my Twitch channel, John Bieland, John BIE Land. So yeah, that's where you can find me. That's
nice one. You're doing the movement for yourself there, mate. Jared,
road to 1,000 subs.
Cool, man. Keep going. Jared, are you even, because we've been talking a bit, are you on YouTube yet, my friends?
Not yet, but you can find me right now on Twitter at HARKES @Harks.
Cool.
Nice one.
And like I said, I've been talking to you. You've got some good tactics, so I hope you grow into doing your YouTube, like John as well. Cinnamon, you're doing your gaming. Plug your gaming again, my friend.
Yeah, just first class game on YouTube. You see me around on the comments and on the channel. But Eddie, you've done a great job today hosting.
Thank you.
Just want to say props to that. You did a really good job.
Thank you. So everyone, I'm trying to get my own things going on YouTube, but I'll plug that when I have things going on. But most importantly, for everyone still in here, drop a like on your way out. Obviously, this is the main platform of Flying Pig United. So subscribe if you're new. Get into the description. Subscribe to all the links in there. He's on Instagram, Twitter. So
bash the like,
bash the like, smash it, headbutt it like Zidane. Drop kick it like Cantona. Do all the things you need to do.
Or if you're like Jones,
like Jones.
Can you stomp it like Keane?
Stomp it like going like Jones.
Stomp it. Yeah. What's some more of them things? Spit at it like Jamie Carragher, maybe.
You know what? I was in my head. That was gonna say.
Alex, mate, Alex, calm down, Eddie. Alex, I think so. It's a bit like. Yeah, could you guys, everyone, watch the Flying Pigs watch along probably tomorrow. What time's the game?
Yeah.
We'll see you there. Watch along. Leicester away.
Piggo might be on later on. Piggo might be on later on for FIFA 2. But like Cinnamon saying, he's going to be doing the watch along definitely. So tune in for that tomorrow. We've got some super chats coming in late before we go off. Mamasini, thanks again, mate. You've been doing well for the stream. I appreciate you, my friend. You and us, we know nothing of nothing to make Man U better. So we're like, ole, cheers, guys. Man,
that's pretty deep. We take it's all opinion, isn't it? It's all a matter of opinion, and the facts that we have are stats, and stats can be changed to whatever we feel like it to benefit ourselves. So yeah,
I'm not gonna lie, that one confused me a little bit. But
no, I get it.
Ole, he's backing Ole. Yeah, you get it. I know. We know, John. You're fighting that. You're flying that flag for Ole, man. So
man, I'm the Tyson Fury. I'll knock out, man. I don't care. I'll roll.
Nice. Zemiasi 899. We know Zemiasi. Can we say the infamous guy that comes into the Man United channels and usually talks about Arsenal, but today just put the super sticker. Okay,
I love Zane. I love Zane dropping it. He always drops the little nuggets in the chat to get us all riled up.
That's the one. I'm sure
we can't wait for United against Arsenal. We're still waiting for that, Zane. So we've got that bet on Zane. We've got that £500 bet on, so we're waiting.
Maybe we'll get you and Zane on the show for the preview.
I think Zane and Pig would be better. Yeah, I'll just be the third wheel in that. There'd be no point having me on there. But yeah.
And Gongshi as well before we check out, extra cheeky super chat for the legendary. Oh man,
Thanks,
I'm so in
Mochi.
awe. I'm so in awe of the super chat. Extra cheeky super chat for
Honestly,
the legendary
you know,
Cinnamon. Great job as usual, guys.
I've made the pig so much money just writing a little bit, you know, something on the time. You know? I'm gonna stick this on my wall. I'm keeping that. I'm sticking it on my wall back there.
Cool. Okay,
Right.
guys. We've been on
Nice.
too long, but we've done a good job in terms of the debate. John, thanks for getting in here. Jared,
for having me.
Cinnamon, thanks
Happy
again.
to be here.
Everyone else,
Catch you guys soon.
drop a like on your way out. Thanks, guys. We'll catch you later.
Bye bye.